We start with the UN Security Council's unanimous approval of the toughest sanctions against North Korea in 2 decades. It comes nearly 2 months after Pyongyang conducted its 4th nuclear test. The adoption has been universally welcomed around the world. Kwon Soa reports.
2270. That is the number of the new UN Security Council resolution, which embodies the strongest ever sanctions imposed on North Korea and took the longest time to be drafted. All 15 members of the Council raised their hand for a yes vote at the UN Security Council headquarters in New York, 57 days after North Korea's 4th nuclear test on January 6th. Sanctions on the regime's first test back in 2006 were adopted in just 5 days.
We thank the United States for having taken the initiative for this resolution and the People's Republic of China for having engaged in the lengthy consultations, as well as all other members of the Security Council.
This resolution represents a seismic shift in the way the Council approaches DPRK proliferation concerns. It recognizes at its core that in order to prevent the DPRK from continuing to advance its nuclear weapons program, the international community has to be prepared to sanction sectors beyond those directly related to the nuclear weapons program or their ballistic missile program.
U.S. President Barack Obama said in a statement that North Korea must abandon its, quote, dangerous programs and choose a better path for its people. The gravity of the growing problem regarding North Korea's continuous violations and the ineffectiveness of existing resolutions is what led to the South Korea-based, U.S.-drafted and China-backed tightening of sanctions. They include mandatory cargo inspections, an expansion of bans on weapons and luxury items, and a ban on the trade of coal, iron, and titanium. They also target banks and blacklist 16 individuals and 12 entities. South Korea's Presidential Office of Cheongwade and Seoul's Foreign Ministry welcomed the adoption, putting great emphasis on diplomatic efforts to ensure the sanctions are effectively implemented.
The government will do all its efforts to cooperate with UN members for a smooth implementation of the resolution, and it will enforce international cooperation for North Korea to give up its nuclear program completely, verifiably, and irreversibly.
There have been concerned countries like China and Russia would not strictly follow through with their obligations under the resolution due to their stronger economic relations with Pyongyang. But with China reportedly already in preparation to follow through with the punitive measures, such as halting the transfer of Chinese currency to North Korean banks, the consensus is stronger than ever on blocking North Korea's access to hard cash that could be used to develop its nuclear and missile programs. Kwon Soa, Arirang News.